Welcome to Reinvent Yourself, the best awareness and self-improvement channel on YouTube. Today's video topic is 10 things that are making you unhappy. Do you ever feel like life has betrayed you and broken you down? Do you ever feel down and nothing seems to make you feel better? Most people want to be happy, yet occasionally, including myself, we act in ways that don't make us happy. Although we may believe that events outside of our control are what make us happy, this is not always the case. Before we get into the video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. Number 1, constantly complain. What actions do you take when unpleasant things occur? Do you grumble? Do you complain about how unfair life is? Consider these typical responses to unfortunate events. Why do bad things always happen to me? I detest tardiness in others, such a waste of my time. This is a terrible job. I detest it. I work for a lousy boss. He or she is incredibly careless, untrustworthy, and useless. When done in moderation, whining is acceptable. However, it's simple to lose focus and descend into a downward spiral. There is a culture of complaining in Singapore. After seeing the US and Europe, I came to the conclusion that people complain everywhere. People merely complain about various things. People in Singapore frequently lament the high expense of living, broken down transportation, and employment. People in Holland are dissatisfied with the unpredictable weather and late trams. People in London frequently grumble about the dreary conditions and ongoing tube works. While there is no denying that these are issues, whining won't improve our situation. You come across as negative if you whine all the time. Additionally, it's simple to use whining as a crutch, in which case you constantly complain but take no action. So how do you put a stop to that? Identify your complaining behavior. The first step in problem solving is raising awareness. Recognize the origin of negativity. Why did you pick this one incident out of 1,000 you've had this week to complain about? What is making you so angry? Resolve the problem. What can you do to solve the issue? Less talking and more doing are key. Pay attention to the good. You produce more of the same when you are frustrated with something. Let's say that getting upset with X for 5 minutes will only make things worse. Why not put your attention on good things so that you can increase your happiness? Number 2, prevent issues. Avoiding difficulties is the second path to sadness. For instance, you can choose to ignore the agony your unfulfilling employment is causing you. Ignoring rather than resolving your workplace issues. Ignoring rather than addressing your concern regarding your living situation. Ignoring is simple since you don't have to deal with the problem, but in the long run it leads to more issues, and unfulfilling work will destroy you from the inside out. Your soul will be empty by relationships that do not fulfill you. Your life will go in the wrong direction if you don't work on long-term objectives. What are your next steps? Recognize your issues. Even if you don't now have the answer, at least you are aware of the issue. Start by deciding on basic steps to take to address them. You'll be able to find happiness again if you deal with your difficulties now rather than later. Number 3, evaluate yourself against others. Do you enjoy evaluating yourself against others? Think about these remarks. Why do I have nothing going for me and he has everything? Wow, that individual is really wealthy. I hope to achieve half of his success. Why do I keep attracting bad boys, girls, while others have no trouble finding love? Comparing is pointless because you are unique. Each person takes a different route. Just like other people are different from you, you are different from other people. Life wouldn't be very interesting if everyone was the same, right? The better course of action is to consider what you desire rather than comparing yourself to others. What would you like to possess? How would you do that? Create your own success by drawing motivation from achievements of others. Set benchmarks but avoid comparison. Number 4, stress about events that have not occurred. Do you fret frequently? Typically, 95% of our worries never come true. Think about these typical worries. A person opening a new business. Imagine if my company collapsed. What if I don't have any clients? A dater. What if the other person doesn't like me? What if I make a mistake? What happens if they aren't the one? A presenter. What if I run out of things to say? What if people believe I'm dull? A person attending an event. What if nobody wants to chat with me? Planning for unforeseen events is a smart idea, but worrying excessively is useless and unhealthy. Plan as much as you can, then act. The majority of anxieties are unfounded and self-created. Additionally, by simply acting, you can discover the solutions as you go. Number 5, permit your issues to consume you. Perhaps you are currently dealing with a serious life challenge. Keep in mind that other people also experience difficulties. Even the wealthy and well-known experience issues. Here are some suggestions to help you deal with your feelings of overwhelm. Request aid. It's not just you. There are people you may turn to for support. Make contact. Request assistance. You won't believe how eager they are to assist. One issue at once. It can be frightening to deal with several significant issues at once. Take on each individually rather than tackling them all at once. It makes them easier to control. Take advice from those who have solved similar issues in the past. There are 7 billion individuals in the world, so there are undoubtedly others who have faced and overcame similar challenges to yours. A fantastic location to start your search is online. Find Facebook groups on comparable subjects and ask the members for assistance. Number 6, carry out actions you detest. Do you engage in activities you dislike? Doing activities you don't enjoy is the surest path to unhappiness. Do a life audit and list the items that are causing you misery. If you have been unhappy for a time, perhaps the source of your fatigue is your job. Perhaps person X has had a negative influence. Perhaps the noise outside of your house is upsetting you. How can you deal with the things you don't like? Work on finding a new job if you don't like your current one. Stop talking to person X or chat with them less if you don't like them. Move to a new location if you aren't satisfied with your current one. When you can move and do some research on your new location. While making such changes, especially significant ones, take time. It's preferable than continuing with the status quo. Stop doing the things that are bringing you unhappiness and start doing the ones that bring you happiness. Number 7, sticking around those that exhaust you. Spending time with folks that make you feel drained. People who take you for granted are one example. People who, when you talk to them, make you feel worse. Those who prevent you from achieving your goals. The 5 people we spend the most time with defines us on average. Spending a lot of time with people that deplete you will make you feel frustrated most of the time. Here's a task for you. Who are the 5 persons you spend the most time interacting with or being with? Do these people make you feel better or worse? It's not a good indicator if they tend to exhaust you. What kind of people do you enjoy spending time with? Who makes you happy? How can you make time for them more frequently? Number 8, attempt to alter someone. Do you try to influence someone else? Trying to alter someone is a surefire way to become miserable. The best changes should occur internally, even if your partner or pals change as a result of your efforts. Otherwise, you will always be in a push-pull relationship with them, trying to mold them into what you think they should be. Ask yourself, what is the change I want to see in myself? Rather than trying to change others, work on that next. The things that used to irritate you about others will cease to be an issue as you adjust to the changes. Number 9, try to win people over. Trying to please others will never make you happy, just as trying to change others won't make you happy in the long run, because 1, it's impossible to please everyone, because everyone is unique. Even if you manage to please one person, there will undoubtedly be someone else who was not pleased. You make yourself available to others' mercy. In the process, you forfeit your sense of self and personal authority. You spend your life for other people when you ought to live it primarily for yourself. The best course of action is not to alter who you are if someone is unhappy with you. Recognize the source of the annoyance first. Are you in agreement? If the answer is yes, you want to work on those problems, but just for yourself. If you don't agree with the criticism, stick to your position. Don't alter your behavior simply because someone expects it of you. You should live for you, not for other people. Number 10, cling to targets, results, statuses, and people. Happiness originates inward. You set yourself up for unhappiness when you bind yourself to something outside of yourself. For instance, money. You make $1 million and take ownership of your newfound prosperity. But money is a finite resource. Maybe one day you lose that money. You start to worry about losing your money all the time. If you define your worth by your income, you could worry that you're not making as much as others. Relationship. You enter a fulfilling relationship and get emotionally attached to your partner. However, it's possible that one day you two grow apart, and he or she decides the relationship is not right for them. As a result, you develop an obsessional compulsive personality driven by fear of losing that individual. That's because your current romantic situation is how you define yourself. Job. You land a fantastic job and become emotionally invested in it or the business. However, you receive an unexpected layoff one day. You feel upset since your career is how you identify your self-identity. You feel worthless if you don't have that job. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.